Good morning, folks. Well, at least that's when this will post. I post my videos pretty much 9 o'clock every morning. I am doing a request. Brian Bridges, shout out to you. I am doing Alabama's song, Angels Among Us. I'm pretty sure I don't know this song. We'll find out. I bought an Alabama Greatest Hits CD a while, but it only had like 12 songs on it. I bought that probably 10 years ago. I haven't listened to it in a long time. But let's see what we've got. Angels Among Us. Oh, it's live? Yeah. They recognize it.
I was walking home from school on a cold winter day. Took a shortcut through the woods and I lost my way. It was getting late and I was scared and alone. But then a kind old man took my hand and led me home. Now Mama couldn't see him, oh, but he was standing there, and I knew in my heart he was the answer to my prayers. Oh, I believe there are angels among us, sent down to us from somewhere up above. They come to you and me in our darkest hours to show us how to live, to teach us how to give, to guide us with a light of love. When life held troubled times and had me down on my knees, there's always been someone to come along and comfort me. A kind word from a stranger, to lend a helping hand. A phone call from a friend just to say I understand.
That kind word from a stranger is so emblematic of the human condition, where we just want to matter on some level. And sometimes it's because it's a stranger, you realize there are people out there who are kind, thoughtful, compassionate, who actually care, but somehow in that moment, whether it's on the checkout line or whether it's just a wave, a hello, that you matter as a human being. Your presence in this moment just matters. I'm going to acknowledge that. I don't know, something about you is really wonderful. There's something caught your attention, and then they just say it and go on their way. You're like, all right, I'm not invisible here. I matter. And that is huge.
But ain't it kind of funny at the dark end of the road that someone lights the way with just a single ray of hope? Oh, I believe there are angels among us, sent down to us from somewhere up above. They come to you and me in our darkest hours to show us how to live, to teach us how to give, to guide us with a light of love. They wear so many faces, show up in the strangest places to grace us with their mercy in our time of need. Everybody sing the song. Oh,
you're letting it rip.
to show us how to live, to teach us how to give, to guide us with the light of love. They come to you and me in our darkest hours to show us how to live, to teach us how to give, to guide us with the light of love, to guide us with the light of. It's love! It's love! It's love! We love you, Atlanta, Georgia!
All right, so there's a number of thoughts. One, that was from the spiritual side of things, where, okay, heaven up above, the common perception or presentation is that God sends these angels out there to take care of you. And in this context of this song, to teach you how to give, to teach you how to love. Sometimes they'll walk you out of the woods if you're lost and he prayed, please help me. That's like the more spiritual side of things, that there are these angelic beings that go about doing things. Or then there's the more concrete example where it's in in human beings, where we do this for one another because we're looking out for one another. But the conduit or the transition here is that even if there were or are these spiritual beings that show you how to love and how to give, then it's up to you to continue it in yourself. And being kind, being observant takes effort, takes energy, but man, does it feel good to make a difference in someone else's life. It just does. And it doesn't have to be this monumental thing. Sometimes it's just saying a word to somebody and you don't know how lonely or depressed they are on the inside, because we're all really good at putting on that happy face. The standard answer, hey, how you doing, man? Doing good. How about you? Meanwhile, on the inside, you're dying from something, but you say you're doing good. Most of us are so you don't know what someone's dealing with, but just looking out for another person, maybe being vocal, not being weird and overdoing it, but just, hey man, that's a nice coat you got on. I was looking, whatever. It doesn't have to be anything big. Just, it's like, wow, I'm part of this world, and that person just reminded me that I am, in a nice way. So this is a pretty song. The theological, spiritual part of life is some of the deepest thoughts ever, whether you believe them or not. I had one of my former philosophy professors, Tim Maudlin was his name, if you happen to see this. He was philosophy of science, very bright, very deep, very kind person, very good teacher too. And I remember I was deep into Bible study at the time. And after the first class of his at Rutgers, I went up to him. I said, I see a potential here for you and me to kind of like butt heads, because, the material you're presenting kind of rubs up against my Christian faith, hardcore at the time. And he said, well, I think that the argument for evolution is kind of like unassailable. He was convinced of it. And he said, but some of the deepest thoughts in philosophy come from religion. And I thought, wow, he's an atheist, but he's not a douche. And believe me, I know plenty of Christian douches too, who are just really rude and nasty to people because they've got the right answer, so to speak. And there's got to be that happy medium. And he had it. But the idea that some of the deepest ideas in philosophy or in human thought come from religion or spirituality. So when somebody shows up and walks you out of the woods when you're in this scared time and you're lost and you're a kid, and they bring you home instead of harming you or whatever, and you're safe again, and your mother's happy and father's relieved and all this stuff. I mean, that's just beautiful is what that is, regardless of how we conceptualize it, that, was this some super angelic or some angel, that sort of came into Concretion and walked me out of the woods? Or was it just a kind man who lived down the street that noticed that boy doesn't belong there? So I'm going to help him instead of yelling, get off my property or whatever you'd yell. So Brian Bridges, that got me going, man. I'm not going to rate that. I'm going to leave that one be. That was simple live performance. It was sweet. It certainly was inspirational. The people in the audience loved it. And it's Alabama. You know what I mean? So, I mean, great suggestion. And I hope I did this song some justice for you because you asked me to do it. And I always like to sort of be respectful that someone actually requested me to do this. And I honor and respect that. So that's it. All right, guys. Leave your comments. Have a great day. Be kind to others. Maybe that's a good message in here. Just don't wait for the supply side to send us an angel. Why we could be one or like one anyway. All right. Have a great day. I'll see you in another video. Keep rocking the country.